That's it? Just 3? Okay.
Nah, I got some more, but like, I really want these 3.
Okay. Okay. Where's your OPGG?
Yeah, I'm linking it now.
One sec. Alright, so wait, the season reset happened when? About a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay, you've only played 28 games. What's up with that?
Because as I wrote, for some reason I have ranked anxiety. Like, I don't know why, but...
What happens?
When I play ranked, I feel like I choke a lot for some reason. And I don't think I play as good as I can. For some reason.
But what's the physical symptoms? Is there any? Like, do your hands shake? Do you get sweaty?
Like, my hands start shaking. I get a really high pulse.
Okay. Well, so this is manifesting itself through League. So you must have a similar thing occur in other areas of life, right? It has to do something with competition. So, like, do you get nervous, like, before tests or, like, anything? Exams?
Nah,
nothing like that?
Like when I speak in public, I get kind of nervous, but that's, like, the only
Public
thing.
speaking. Okay.
Yeah.
Ladder anxiety is a bit weird. Usually I only have one way to address it, but I guess in your case it seems to have literally had a stranglehold over you for a few seasons now, because it looks like it's the 4th season where I'm going to just assume that you don't play a lot. Let me check. Yeah, you don't play a lot.
Yeah.
This must be like 120 games or something in an entire season, season 5.
I had 120 games last season and like around 100 games the season before that. So.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Okay. And you have about 100 and okay, you have around 110 in season 3, and then you didn't play in season 2. Okay, so in total you've played less ranked games across like 5 seasons almost, or well, 4. Yeah, there's no data on season 2, but did you start in season 3?
Nah, I started leveling up in season 2.
Okay, that's alright. That's what I was assuming. So you've played less ranked games than most people play in one season across 5 years. Okay, so that's problematic. Now, what is your normal MMR? Do you know?
Nah, I got no idea.
Let me just check. I'll check. Give me a sec.
When I play normals, I mostly play with like 3 or 4 people, so I think it's kind of skewed.
Hold on, you got a platinum?
Yeah, probably.
You got a gold 4 in there. You got an unranked. You got an unranked. I don't know, but he was high gold. All right, so you got a low platinum. You even have a diamond 5 that has a reasonably decent win rate, who's practicing support. Okay. Let me look at multiple. Unranked. So the MMR could be high. Unranked again. ID changed or something. I don't. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I changed my name.
No, not you.
Oh,
I'm trying to look at people that you played with. You got a low platinum again. You got a silver. Alright, that's weird. Unranked. You have a low gold person that looks like they have high win rates. That's yourself. And you have a low gold again. Okay, so your MMR is, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it's somewhere between mid gold to mid platinum. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to do one more cycle where I just pick random things. 3 Johns, John. Here, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get that. Alright. Season 2, okay, low gold. It's fine. Low gold. Okay. Mid gold. Mid plat. Low gold. Silver. Low gold. Okay, well, it's varying. What the hell?
Yeah.
I guess though, OPGG doesn't really calculate normal MMR anymore. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. Like, it doesn't tell the actual MMR of the game. It used to do that, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you're between mid gold to platinum in terms of normals, which I think I don't know what you could correlate that to for ranked. So for ranked anxiety, I mean, what triggers it? You think that you're gonna play bad, or you're afraid to lose LP, or is it about your teammates, or like, where does it come from? Because it can't just come from queuing up, because clearly you can queue up into normal, right?
Yeah.
So it has to do with the LP then. Yes?
Yeah, it's about the LP, I think.
Okay, so what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being low elo, or are you afraid, like... Do you know what I mean? I feel like this should be addressed the same way that phobias get addressed in some cases. Do you know what I mean? Like, where you just... Well... I mean, well, I guess that's a little bit weird. See, I'm not really knowledgeable I'm not qualified to really talk about overcoming anxiety. No, I'm really not. I'm being dead serious. It's not that it's, like, bad or anything, right? But I'm sure that there's things that you can do and there's approaches that you can take psychologically to overcome anxiety. My only response, obviously, is no one's watching you, so why do you care, right? Because the MMR that you're at, the chances of you hitting the same people multiple times in a row is probably never going to happen. Unless you're queuing up at maybe like 4 a.m. or something, and like you're a 4-man or a 5-man dynamic queue. Maybe then you hit the same opponents. Even then, it doesn't really make sense to me, right? But you said that it also appears or it manifests itself when you do public speaking. So for ranked anxiety, I mean, I would recommend getting like a bronze 5 ID, right? That would be something I would recommend, but then I think the problem would present itself when you do begin to get near your mains MMR. I think it would come back. The only thing I can actually, like, all that is going through my head is I remember watching some documentary on phobias and OCD and stuff, and one woman had a phobia of styrofoam, like the thing that surrounds your PC and stuff when you like buy it. You know, it comes in the box, the white stuff. Okay, and literally she was just thrown inside of a box with a ton of styrofoam. Okay, with the lights off. So she couldn't see the styrofoam. She was moving around in it, she had no problem, and she held conversations for multiple hours. Okay, and then she came out of it with her fucking eyes closed, and then she looked back at the styrofoam, and she got afraid, but then she was able to go over and touch it. Now, I think that's an extreme thing, right? And this is weird, because I don't know what to recommend, because I'm not qualified to do that when it comes to something like this. But the only stuff that I can say is the generic stuff, which I already said, which is no one's watching you, so it begs to question, why does it matter? And so the only thing, I think, is you either go on a really low MMR ID, but I think then there's a chance that it comes back once you start to approach your mains. Otherwise, get a free coach, someone that is not your friend, okay? Because a friend would probably just let you quit or something. Stream on Hitbox and just make them sit there with you for ranked games. And I don't know, it's weird because questions like this are they are serious, and they you know, they're not like stupid by any means. It's just the answers to them are going to be extremely unique, and I think it's going to be a case by case basis on how they're going to be answered or how they're going to be solved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be, I mean, I think a free coach who sits there and you just play solo queue and he tells you to keep queuing up and whatever, but then I don't know what happens. Like maybe you know, your pulse goes up and whatever, but I don't, maybe he can calm you down. Like I think this is where like a sports psychologist coach comes into play, but there's none of those that exist. You know what I mean? Like the only one I think in esports that is actually like qualified to do anything is Weldon Green, but I don't think you can go hire him to sit there with your solo queue. But you know, as esports continues to develop and whatever, I'm sure that stuff like that will come to exist, but that's, you know, 10 years away or something. Maybe not 10 years, but it's pretty far away. So that's pretty much that. Did I touch on everything for that? Do you like anything you want to go over on that?
Nah.
Okay. Is that
What's
fine?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How to roam properly as support. Okay. I have a video, and I say this not just because, you know, I want to conserve time for you, so we don't waste time on stuff. There's a video that uses RiftKit on my YouTube that talks a lot about roaming and routes for support, okay? But if you're low MMR, you only want to concern yourself with basically like 3 routes, okay? So here, I'm gonna share screen with you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you the RiftKit. Okay, I'm gonna show you the only 3 routes you need to do. You don't want to concern yourself with any more complex or advanced routes because they're not necessary. Okay, so here's the conditions. Okay, 80 carry is like, alright, so 80 carry was recalled before you, or 80 carry is, you know, in lane and the lane is getting shoved into him. Okay, if you go to the lane, nothing maybe ends up happening and you just gotta recall and you have like Sightstone or something. So the only 3 routes that you want to do is you either want to do, well, how you enter doesn't really matter. You can either enter through here or you can enter through here, okay? You can come over here and you can do this ward. Okay, and then you make your way down, and then on your way down you could branch off and get a ward over there, and then you just ward this, and then you unite with him. Okay? The other route is, how do I delete everything? Okay. The other route, which is if you don't want to go through river and the lane is pushing into the enemy team. Okay, so like your 80 carries here, and then maybe you're here for some reason, and it's pushing, like your minion wave is either slow pushing or glaciering into the opponent. You can easily go like this, and you can pink ward this, and then you can move up, and you can get a ward. And then depending on whatever, you could also branch off, do this ward, and then come back down. This is another route. These are very, very basic. The things that you don't want to be doing, but they do exist, and I talk about them inside of that video, are the wards where your 80 carry recalls, okay? And then you're at the fountain, and he's already on his way back to lane, and what ends up happening is the lane is shoving in, okay? But then you run up, and you know, do a counter gank. Or for top lane, or you do a gank for top lane. That's bizarre. And then, you know, you come down here, maybe you throw a ward in here, you do something in mid, you make your way out to mid, you ward this, and then you come up here, and then you either go down to bottom or you recall. These are too advanced. You want to stay away from these. Because if you start incorporating these ones into your gameplay, whether or not they exist is irrelevant. They're gonna distract you from the core fundamentals that you need to be learning to become a better player. These are gimmicks, because these type of things can change in a patch. They can change depending on variables, such as who is your top laner, who is the enemy top laner, is my top behind, is my mid behind, what's happening in mid lane, who's the enemy jungler, or who's my jungler. There's all these things that we can't spend time talking about right now, right? It would eat up your entire session and then some, that exist 4 types of routes like that. Okay, so you stay away from those, and you just do the very basic ones that we talked about in the beginning. And obviously, you know, if you're obviously the opposite color, you know, it's going to be very, very similar. I don't know how to wipe the entire thing, but anyways, So if you're, over here and your AD carry is over here and you want to do something like this, where you do the ward and then you come back, you don't want to go like this. This is too unsafe. Okay, so you don't want to come from this fountain, ward here, and then go through Tri-Brush and unite with your AD carry. That's really bad. So you just want to do this, you get the ward, and then you come back around, okay, and then maybe you ward this, but if the lane is shoving into you, then obviously you have to come up and around. That one's fine. Alternatively, if the lane, oh, there we go. If the lane is shoving into the opponent, okay, then what you could do is you could come over here, okay. If you have complete control and you have priority and it's shoving in your favor, you can trinket this. You can make sure there's nothing in it, and then you could even walk in. Okay, and you get a ward here, and then you walk up, you just make sure nothing's going on here, and then you give a ward either here, or you give one here, and then you loop around, and you come back down, or you just go back through, depending on who you are and, like, what's happening in the lane. But it's all going to be relative to other stuff, and you have to understand that. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else on that? On the warding part?
Nah.
Okay. Holding myself to too high standards. What does this mean?
Like when I make a mistake, I get really obsessed with it, and like.
Do you have OCD?
No, that I know of, at least.
Mhm. Okay, but you've never played ranked. So, I mean, you have played ranked, but I think it's weird to hold yourself to high standards, but at the same time be afraid of standards. I think that's contradictory. Not that
Okay.
not that can't happen. I just think that it's weird. I'm not saying that's bad, by the way. I'm just saying
Okay.
it's peculiar that it exists, or it's a problem that you're having. Holding yourself to high standards, it goes back to one of the original things that I was talking about when we were talking about ranked anxiety, and that no one's judging you, right? And I think when you realize that, it gets a lot easier to accept, but I know that it's hard to accept, but really there's no magic answer. There's no magic words that I can say that can just make you not hold yourself to high standards. There's no magic words I can say that can make ranked anxiety go away, right? Like, that's going to take time, and it's going to have to be a choice that you eventually come to terms with trying to overcome, however uncomfortable it is. But when you do overcome it, then it's going to be, it's going to be fine. It's like eating fucking broccoli when you're a kid or something, and if you liked broccoli, you're weird. No, I'm kidding. But that's pretty much that. Holding yourself to high standards, though, it's a good thing, as long as you can make benefit of it and not be afraid of it. Because then it gives you an edge in terms of constant desire to improve.
Yeah.
Okay. What other questions do you have now?
Oh, fuck. I have the obvious one, working on a champion pool.
The basic one? Okay.
Yeah. The one that everyone asks.
The one that everyone asks. Okay, let me
Yeah.
look at your OPGG. Alright, here, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna open up Paint. Alright, now, besides support, what do you play?
Top lane, primarily.
So support. Alright, so wait, so what's your main lane? Support though, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so and your goal is to improve, not just to win.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to gain elo, I want to get better, so.
Okay, play Soraka.
Yeah.
Continue to play Alistar. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 3 supports. Stop playing Poppy. Stop playing. I don't know if that's Lux support. I'm gonna assume that it is.
Nah, it was Lux mid lane.
Okay. What other supports do you play? Okay, never mind. Just looking at all the champions that you've played. Give me one sec. I would recommend Morg or Leona, but I don't think that's totally necessary. I think you could do something else. I think you can just actually throw in Braum. So you're already playing 2 of them. So that's that. For top lane, where you're at right now, play Darius. So okay, play Darius, play Malphite. Malphite's pretty good right now. And then if you want an AP top laner or something that you wanna play and do whatever with. Let's see. I don't want to say Lysandra, because your actual MMR still is not completely able to be determined. So I don't want to mention Lys for right now. We could, I mean, you can go with Kale if you really want to. I think it's gonna be a mix of, well, no, not Lulu. Oh, Lulu's actually fine. You can do Kale, Lulu, or Maokai if you want like AP. So just stick to these and always play them. Now, one thing that I always talk about, or in recent months I've started talking about it, is you see all this right here, where you play different champions almost every game. Well, sometimes you play a same champion 2 games in a row, but it never goes beyond that. There's no instance of you playing, oh no, here you go. See this? This is good. 4 times in a row. And then you lost and you went to Alistar, but then you won and you went to Braum. That doesn't make any sense. So what I want you to do, alternative, Akali's fucking really weird. Never mind. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to play champions endlessly, and you only rotate them on either a loss or like a 6-game win streak, or 7-game win streak or something like that. Okay, so your match history should look like Soraka, lost Soraka, Alistar, Braum, lost Soraka, Braum, like that's how it should look. Nothing deviating in between, and always try to play the same exact role over and over and over. So make, obviously, your primary and your secondary, but make sure that it's your primary and your secondary, and you're not trying to balance it. Don't queue up one game as primary support, secondary top, and then the next game, primary top, secondary support. Don't do that. That's bad. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
And then, yeah. Anything else? No? What else? What next?
Yeah, how to analyze my own play, like what should I
Analyzing your own play. See, this is something that if we went back like 6 months or something, or like 8 months, I probably would tell you to analyze your own play. Now, that I think I have more knowledge on the subject or I'm more wise on the subject, I think analyzing your own play is actually detrimental. To a certain well, you can analyze it, but only to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is reflect only upon your deaths. Do not reflect upon what else could I have done better. And what I mean by that is because the issue that will arise, okay, and this happens all the time, because I think most people can't actually see what the better answers are in most cases, hence why analysts, coaches exist, although they don't really exist. But with that being said, let's say that you're down here or something, okay, and something bad ends up happening. You could watch it and come to a conclusion that, like, okay, I shouldn't have been here. I should have actually been warding for mid lane, or something really random. And so you determine in your post-game review, your own analysis of yourself, you come to a conclusion on a decision that you made, or what you should be doing. And then what happens is, in every game after that, you potentially, not always, keep making that decision, but then if someone better than you reviews the decision, they basically told you that you just wasted all that time because it was incorrect. And so now you built up this huge wall, right, of like what you thought, and now you have to break it down and then rebuild, which is, it's twice the effort, Yeah. And this is something that I talk about with one-trick ponies. Most recently, right, like Groscore, right? If he wants to get better at Twisted Fate, he has to unlearn a lot of what he thinks is correct. And, he's not going to do that in Europe. It's just not going to happen. Because he swings way too heavy in MMR. And because of the swings, his practice is not really efficient. And then also because of the swings, he's not playing against people that are necessarily mid-mains 100% of the time, even though there's dynamic queue. So what ends up happening is he develops these bad habits and he doesn't get pushed enough. And it's not saying that you can't improve using the European server, but the problem is that because of how he approaches the game and how much he swings and how volatile his MMR is, it's going to be very awkward. And so he has to break everything down and then rebuild it up if he wants to genuinely get better. And that's really difficult. And that's something that I see happen to a lot of one-trick ponies. And sometimes they can build up such a huge wall on what they think is right that it takes months to undo. And so it's better to just not try to build a wall and just completely doubt yourself always.
Okay.
And that would be better. And then also stop playing with friends. Like if you're dynamic queuing, etc., don't do that. That might even cause you more anxiety because then you feel bad or something. I don't know. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And what else? Now what?
When I play against worse opponents, I start to get like I don't care about the basic stuff. I get really lackluster in my warding. I don't take the game too serious then. Like, how do I work on that?
What do you mean? You get bored while you're playing? What are you, Wild Turtle? Isn't that what Amazing said?
Nah, it's like, I think the game becomes too easy and I just start not caring about the basics. Like the fundamentals.
Like if you get too far ahead, or what?
Yeah. And then I start throwing and then tilt happens.
It's so weird. Okay, so some stuff that you're saying is completely polar opposite to ranked anxiety. And well, maybe it's not. It's weird that you can get... Well, it's because it's normals. You know that there's no effect.
Yeah, but it happens in ranked games.
Well, then how do you hold yourself to high standards?
That's the thing. Like, I have so many mental blocks that just fucks with me when I play. For some odd reason.
Okay, so what about the idea of, the free coach off LOL coaching who just sits with you? Because those are people that if they're bad, you just kick them. And trust me, there's going to be a lot that are bad. But what they're there for, the reason that they're free, okay, it doesn't matter if they're Diamond 5, Diamond 4, etc. Just tell them what you want, alright? And they just want experience. That's it. Okay. Now, they could tell you stuff that is really bad, alright? Like, really fucking bad. But it's probably not going to matter as long as you just tell them not to lecture you about the game or, like, analysis type stuff about the game and just rather focus on your issues that you're having with the anxiety and the high standards and getting bored. I think that would be a nice fix. But you don't want a friend to do it, because I think they would just cop out, like they would just, they'd let you get away with stuff, Yeah. So it'd be someone that you don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Alright. Is there anything else?
Yeah, how to recover like a lost lane in bot lane. For example, say that me and my AD carry, we get the level 2 power spike and we fuck it up and we die.
Say you and your AD carry what?
We fuck up the level 2 power spike and both of us die and my ADC gets 2 kills. Like, what steps should I do to recover the lane?
You should never go offensive.
Okay.
Ever. Okay, so it's weird, right? Because sometimes, like, a part of the fundamentals is learning how to trade efficiently. Trading efficiently does not mean necessarily going offensive. Trading efficiently can sometimes be a defensive move, in the sense that an opponent missteps and you punish. However, forcing missteps is not defensive. Unless, this goes into way more advanced concepts of range and, like, all this other stuff. You know that like the person can't respond to offensive play, and their defense is really weak. So if you can force defensive play, then you end up compromising their entire. That stuff that doesn't matter. At the MMR and the LO that you're at right now, you should always just feel safe knowing that people are going to make mistakes, and when you make less mistakes, you win. And when you play champions that are less prone to making mistakes, you're going to have a much higher chance at salvaging or recovering games that should have been lost.
Okay.
But don't ever get into the mindset like, oh, we have to kill them because they killed us. They're gonna let you kill them if you just give them the chance. You're not in an MMR yet where people are gonna be patient or think logically.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else? Anything?
Nah, not really that I can come up on. That I can think of.
Okay. So what I want you to do is go and get a free coach or something off wall coaching who will just sit with you. You don't have to necessarily do it. And then try to force yourself. I mean, you can even work up to it. You can play 1 ranked game a day, 2 ranked games the next day, and try to work yourself up to 5 or something. I don't know how many normal games you play a day, but maybe you can try something like that, like increments.
Yeah.
And that would work. So go and do that, and then message me back on Skype in a few days and let me know how it's going.
Okay, yeah.
Alright?
Yep.
Okay, man. Alright, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
See you. Bye.
Bye.